Hello people, how y'all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here. Anyway, so we are going to be getting into another video of Bill Maher. I think I got into like one of his videos quite recently, and this popped up under it, and I did see that he was invited to the view, and I'm like why wouldn't I get into this? Okay, so this is titled Bill Maher on woke policies. Okay, so Bill Maher is going to be talking on woke policies on the view. Okay, woke policies. Okay, on the view. You like, he came on the view to talk about woke policies. This is about to be really spicy because Bill himself really, I mean, he's a comedian, so he kind of like has a bad mouth in the sense of savage, you know. He could be savage, and Whoopi Goldberg and just the ladies on the view in general. I feel like I'm speaking too much, so it doesn't tell on my excitement to get into this. So without no further ado, people, let's just hop right into the video.
Well, I had a different question, but it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
no, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice, who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want,
okay,
because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know, want to call it the super far left, but don't tell me the left
or maybe the super far right.
Well, he's talking about the left. Well, then
okay, but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat. But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a joke. But,
too dark.
Well, maybe it is, but it's true. I mean, you know, if I had any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left, watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas, that straightened me up pretty quick.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about that, because I think you're almost a free speech absolutist. You believe totally in the right to say what you believe, but I think a lot of us were disturbed to see terrorist flags being waved on American college campuses, and seeing this a generation that some I think genuinely care about the plight of the Palestinians. I think most Americans do, but some who seem to be embracing a terrorist organization over the nation of Israel. What do you make of this moment? What do you think it's a result of? How do we fix it?
Well, I mean, it's just astounding to me that they can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. I mean, just morally. I mean, let me tell you, if you're for Hamas, just live in Gaza for a day. And I'm not talking about while the war is on. I mean, before the war. Trust me, you would go running and screaming and begging to live in Tel Aviv, a place that has your values. I mean, women have this is a show watched by a lot of women. Women have no rights in this place, and a lot of majority Muslim countries around the world. I mean, there is no equal rights as far as speech, dress, opportunities for education, reproductive rights, freedom from sexual violence, freedom from sexual harassment.
The LGBTQ community as well.
Yes. You that too. But you throw around the term apartheid. There is a gender apartheid in a lot of the world, where women are second-class citizens, at best.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women? And are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed? This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how can
Okay,
we do
well,
that with a ceasefire?
All right, so Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means, okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
And stop calling for the annihilation of Israel and all the Jews. They're calling for the annihilation of the Jews. And so you can't really defend that on the other side very easily.
But before we go, I want to say...
No, we're not going anywhere yet.
Okay, but I just want to say one thing, as we were talking in the break.
Yeah.
Joy is a wonderful human being, and she should not be afraid that people are going to attack her because she said that thing about the swastika on the cap.
Well,
she does not think that as you said to me in the break, you do not think that all the people who are for Trump are Nazis.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I just want them to pay attention to words like vermin and poisoning the blood and the Third Reich. That's all. That's really what I'm asking.
They see Trump as a comedian. They see him as a clown who says crazy things.
They saw Hitler like that.
Right, okay, but that doesn't mean, you can hate Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It is half the country.
I have some in my family. I don't think they're Nazis.
Okay, great. I'm glad we got that. I don't want you hurt in the supermarket.
I have a question for you because I don't know if you've noticed what I've noticed, but I find that oftentimes when I'm watching the news, I'm only getting portions because one of the things that happens, I was listening to you talk about, the kids that had the Hamas flags. It reminded me of when people were saying Antifa is there, and doing that. So bad players show up and make stuff happen. But do you find that the view that we're being shown seems to be meant to guide us into thinking about people one way when in fact it may be a much bigger conversation?
Oh, of course. I mean, the media is always going to just chase what is interesting to watch. I mean, I used to be able to watch the nightly news, for example. I can't do it. I mean, first of all, it should be called, here's some video we found that's fun to watch. That's not the news. Like anything that happens on a plane. Like the plane skidded off the runway, so what? Call me when anybody died, and it's not, the door fell off. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I understand the door falling off, but you don't want to be up in the air.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. That one I needed to know.
Okay.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And then by the time you get to the last segment, it's just, the bears in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
And it's narrative over truth. I mean, it's not like when I hear people talk on either side of it, I always think they're lying. They're just telling me half of it.
Yeah.
And I never trust them anywhere until I check out the other half.
Yeah.
And it's tedious.
Yeah.
I just want one place, and of course it's my book and my show, where you can get both.
You're leading me right into what I was going to talk about because we are talking about your
Sorry. Here too.
We're talking about your new book, which looks at 20 years.
Okay, I do remember Bill saying he is an old school liberal, or rather he identifies as an old school liberal. So for them to say that he has changed, I'm just like, when? From when to when? Because if you check the last video I did make, he made mention of that, okay? He did make mention of that. I did love some of the points that Bill made, and I did love the way he phrased, does the way he made that, like some statements, like, you cannot hate everyone who hates. No, you can hate Trump, but you cannot hate everyone who likes him. Something like that. Because truly, I mean, quite frankly, and because I'm believing that if an individual is woke, most especially as she defined it as woke being of the Black community, right? So if you're a Black person and you're woke in that sense, you should also be open-minded, and you should also be very welcoming and accommodating, because you are woke. So definitely you're fighting for the policies or fighting for the things that really do not make sense or really does not move things forward, in my opinion and understanding of what she declared as woke. So why would you be hating on people who hate who you hate for whatever reason that you do hate? In the sense that, I don't know if it's just me, but this is what I notice whenever I get into The View and, you know, they're talking to like the guest up on The View. They always come from an approach of like trying to prove a point. I don't know what the whole concept of The View is like initially. I don't know what they wanted to achieve, you know, like starting up the show. But from what I've seen based on just watching it, it just seems like they have like a perspective, they have an opinion, and they want their opinion to be the opinion. They want their opinion to be like the fact. And it's like they bringing these people up on the channel not to like have a constructive conversation and, you know, sharing of ideas and just perspective and stuff. It's more like they want to force these people to see things their own way. So they come in a very condescending manner when they're talking about like an individual's, like maybe the guest's perspective on something that they do have a conflicting perspective on, if you guys get what I mean. And they're always just coming like they're trying to like attack you. I'm just like, why do they always have that same demeanor with everyone who comes up on the views? Like, they've seen your work, like they've seen your thing, and they just want to like, you know, tell you this is wrong. You know, they always just have that, I don't know about them. I don't know if it's just me who has noticed, but I'm just saying this out here for y'all who want The View to be cancelled. I don't think I do want it, because there could be a way you look at it and it's just pure entertainment and pure comedy. And it might actually shock you that most people who get into The View, I see comments saying, I don't know how people still watch it. People could just be watching it for the entertainment. Doesn't necessarily mean that they share the same ideology or the same perspective on you know, like the views. Okay, so we did get into this. As I already, you know, said earlier, I did have a feeling that this was going to be spicy, but it wasn't so chaotic, because I feel like Maher has, you know, experienced The View, and he obviously knows how to figure his way around all of their, I don't know, attitude basically. But we didn't get into this. I would obviously really want to know what y'all think about this. Please do give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you yet to do that. I wouldn't mind recommendation as well, so please do recommend videos from Maher or just women on The View you would love to see, and I'm going to get into it definitely. Okay, so on to the very next one, people. Let us keep on staying safe and healthy. So bye.